The story is that Liam and I had just been married for a year. However, she began to frequently use business trips as an excuse. I didn't take it seriously at first. Until one day, I came to the house we had been leaving unused. A young woman opened the door. She was holding a 1-year-old child in her arms. She saw my surprised face. But this is my house. This is the spare room my parents prepared for us after we got married. Just then, her cell phone rang. She picked up the phone. I clearly heard a familiar voice coming from the other end of the phone. Baby. What would you like to eat? I just want to get this voice back. I'm all too familiar with it. It was my husband Liam who claimed to be on a business trip. The woman who was full of impatience just now, after hearing this voice, become gentle immediately. I want to eat wontons near our university. And fried buns. I haven't eaten anything as delicious since graduation. I always feel like the taste is not right. I also want a Nashi red rose cat doll that is 60 centimeters tall. I want a necklace. You know the style I like. I stood aside. Olivia listened to him carefully. The body is already stiff. Like wood. I know that Liam's university is half a city away from this house. The drive takes at least an hour. I remember when we first got married. I also told him, I want to eat wontons. His answer at the time was that the weather was cold. The wontons were cold when I brought them back. Not tasty. Now in the same season. A greater distance. He agreed without hesitation. Good. I'll buy you my heart. It was half cold in an instant. Until he agreed again. When buying roses, I was completely chilled. If the red rose cat doll is 60 centimeters tall. If I remember correctly. The price is around 40,000. A doll worth 40,000 yuan. He agreed without any regret. Liam's family is not well off. By studying diligently, I was admitted to a good school. After graduation, I have been living frugally. A light blue shirt. He can wear it for several years. He would not change his clothes until they turned white after washing. I have known him for 5 years. He pursued me for 4 years and we never went to high-end restaurants during our relationship. Most of the time, they are food stalls or roadside stalls during festivals like Valentine's Day and Chinese Valentine's Day. He never gave me anything valuable. The only flower I ever gave her was a rose I bought from a roadside stall when I confessed my love for her. He said, "That means I am his only one." I grew up in a privileged family. There is never a lack of material things. But out of consideration for his family situation, I don't care about the details. I always thought he was a frugal and honest man. I didn't expect that he would be willing to spend 40,000 yuan to buy a doll for another woman. And the slogan of Nashi is. He also said that he would only send one person in his life. How ironic. He did keep this promise. But the gift was not mine. The woman frowned slightly when she saw me still standing at the door. After the initial shock, I slowly came back to my senses. His face showed no emotion. After calming down, I said politely, "Excuse me. I went to the wrong door." I didn't question him. There was no aggressive announcement. I am the owner of this house. I turned and went downstairs. I heard his impatient voice behind me. Who are these people? It's really annoying to go to the wrong door late at night. Then the door slammed. I didn't leave immediately after I went downstairs. Instead, he went to the community's security room and chatted with the security guard. I asked about Building 3, number 601. Who lives here now? The security guard saw me swiping my card to enter the community, knowing that I am the owner. But I don't know exactly which household I live in. He told me truthfully. The property is registered to the owner and his wife. Hearing this, I suddenly felt a chill in my heart. It was as if someone had slapped me hard in the face. The owner and his wife. Then what about me, the legal wife? The security guard noticed that I looked a little strange. Concerned about what happened. I forced a smile. It's okay. Then I left the neighborhood. Get in the car. I didn't leave right away. Instead, park the car at the corner. I sat in the car and slowly digested everything that happened tonight. Then he turned on his phone. After the camera went home with him. Liam is back. One hand holds fried buns and wontons. The other hand holds a huge red rose figurine. I didn't notice my car parked in the dark heading straight towards the parking lot. I watched him get off the bus. I quietly pressed the camera button on my phone. I didn't call. He didn't argue with her when questioned. When he gets home. I drove back to our usual home and pretended nothing had happened. 2 days later. Liam is back. It was late that day. When he entered the door, I lay in bed pretending to be asleep. He still smelled of that woman's perfume. No change of clothes. Just want to hug me. Olivia. I'm back. No response yet. She just turned over, avoiding her movements, and moved to the other side of the bed. There was no room for him to get on the bed. Liam probably thought I was asleep. I went to the guest room for fear of waking him up. Took a bath. Then I slept in the guest room. The next morning he was as usual. While having breakfast. While chatting with me about the business trip. This project took a long time. I may have to travel frequently in the future. The company is just starting out and there is a lot to do. For our future, I want to work hard. Olivia might make you feel wronged. I smiled at him. Very considerate. It doesn't matter. Liam didn't say anything more. Went there after breakfast. The company was funded by my parents. Liam and I founded it together. Although it was established less than 2 years ago. But it developed very well. I have a good eye for investment. Good at selecting market companies. Liam and I each took half of the responsibility. I don't know much about her half. This is why she travels frequently. But I didn't notice the reason for the abnormality. I didn't go to the company that day. Instead, he drove to the house where Liam gave the woman a place to stay. I waited in the car for over an hour. Until about 10 o'clock in the morning. A woman came out pushing a baby carriage. I took a taxi. Left the neighborhood. I followed him quietly. He went to the mall. I looked at a lot of baby products. When you walk out of the mall, I bought a lot of bags and small bags. It was raining outside. Watching the rain. It won't stop anytime soon. I sat in the car and looked at her. Standing at the entrance of the mall, I tried to call a taxi again and again. But it's peak season now. Not a single car arrived. She stared at the child in the stroller with a frown on her face. He seems to be worried about the current predicament. Winter is cold. It's windy outside. The child sits in the stroller. My face was red from the cold. The woman seemed a little anxious. When you are at your wit's end. I drove slowly towards it. Roll down the window. Asking, pretending to be ignorant. Is there anything I can do to help? When he saw me, he was obviously surprised. I pretended not to remember him and asked doubtfully, do we know each other? He reminded me. You took the wrong path yesterday. Do you remember the road? I smiled with an expression of sudden enlightenment. I remembered. What a coincidence. He has been waiting here for a long time, seeing the child being blown by the cold wind. So he accepted my help without hesitation. Before I even say anything, just open the car door, carrying the child in the car. Then please take us back to the neighborhood we stayed in last night. He is quite familiar with me. I laughed secretly in my heart. Agreed. Good. I then asked, did you go to our community to visit friends last night? In fact, my name is registered as the owner of the house. But I didn't show any sarcasm at all. He answered. Yes. He talked to me a lot along the way. Maybe because the car I drive is not cheap. I thought I had a good family background. He started to get close to me. He told me. His name is Bella. The child is just 1 year old. The child's father and he were high school classmates and had been in love for many years. I glanced at the back seat. I glanced at the child's face. The child's features are distinct. Eyebrows, nose bridge. His face shape is obviously similar to Liam's. Liam is the father of this child. And Bella said they have been in love for many years. In this case, then why did he pursue me so hard all these years? Considering the age of the children, I felt a surge of nausea in my heart like a 1-year-old. And Liam and I have been married for exactly 1 year. This child was conceived at that time. Over the past 5 years, Liam is in front of me every day. He is gentle, caring and plays the role of a good husband in every way. Who would have thought that when chasing me? He still likes another girl. Even before and after we got married, she already had a child with another woman. Since they love each other so much, why would you come out and hurt innocent people? Li Yang's appearance makes me dislike Liam even more. But I was already over the shock when I found out Liam was having an affair yesterday. After a night of digestion, my mind is calm now. There was no expression on his face. I turned my head and picked up the phone as if nothing had happened, tapping the screen lightly with my fingertips. Then continued chatting with Bella. The child is so beautiful. Like Dad, right? Bella probably doesn't know that I'm married. He started chatting with me without any hesitation. Everyone who has seen Song Kuo's father says he looks like his father. I am playing with the child. Continue to ask what the baby's name is? Song Yu, Bella said with a boastful tone. The child's father opened his own company. It's called Jincheng Industry. I gripped the steering wheel tightly. I glanced at the recording function on my phone from the corner of my eye. Recording time silently. Li Yang probably wanted to brag about the man she chose. How capable. Talking endlessly about children. His father is the same age as me. We are only 27 years old this year. Can start your own company? It's really not easy. In order to raise funds for starting a business, he suffered a lot. A person worked several part-time jobs to earn his first pot of gold. Of course, his business talent is also indispensable. I listened to his boasting. But I felt embarrassed for him. The founding capital of Jincheng Industrial was entirely funded by my parents. What does this have to do with Liam? Liam met me after he graduated. Before starting a company, he has been working in my parents' company. When did he start working several part-time jobs in order to start his own business? Where would I, Liam, be now? Maybe he should go back to the place where he crawled out. Li Yang continued to talk to me a lot later. They are all praising how capable Liam is. Until I got off the bus, I probably felt that I didn't want to lose a friend of mine who has status. He took the initiative to add my WeChat. I watched him leave. After he walked away, pick up the mobile phone that has been turned on beside you. Save the conversation you just recorded. The first step of my plan was successful. After bringing the letter, in order to make Li Yang relax. Alert. I never took the initiative to chat with him. But I deliberately created a few chance encounters with coffee shops, jewelry store, restaurant. As the number of encounters increases, Li Yang and I gradually became familiar with each other. Now he even treats me as a sister. He would ask me out for dinner from time to time. Every time we meet, I always carry a brand name bag with jewelry to me. These are like everyday items. But Bella sees me more often. I originally only carried a practical bag worth a few hundred yuan. After a week, it was replaced with a food package worth tens of thousands. He hardly wears jewelry. Gradually, I had more expensive watches on my hands. Each necklace and earring is worth tens of thousands. He has no job. This money can only come from Liam. I know everything in my heart. Liam was born in a poor family. I am usually very frugal. Giving Bella a gift worth tens of thousands of dollars occasionally might be acceptable. But Bella is covered in famous brands. He probably couldn't stand it any longer. Recently, after Liam returned home, I could tell he was in a bad mood. I didn't ask why. But that night, Bella sent me a WeChat message. Make complaints. He and Liam have been arguing a lot lately. He said, I really don't understand when a man pursues you. Everything can be satisfied. You wait until you catch it and then you become reluctant to let it go. I just bought a bag worth tens of thousands of yuan. A watch worth 300,000. Hundreds of thousands of earrings. A necklace worth 400,000. Plus a jade bracelet worth hundreds of thousands. Isn't the purpose of men earning money to spend on women? Money earned but not spent. What's the point of earning money? He kept complaining about Liam. I, Olivia, read his WeChat. I pressed the screenshot button a few times. Take a screenshot and save the prices of the items he listed. Did Liam forget that he and I are still divorced? Every penny he has. They are now the common property of the couple. If the man does not have the woman's consent, I spent money without permission. And Fong can recover the money through legal means. And there is already 1 million. In fact, after discovering that Liam had cheated, I could have filed for divorce right away. However, due to the involvement of corporate interests, our property division is too complicated. If you divorce directly, according to the law, we have to give him half of our common property. He was originally a person with nothing. Why do I get so much in this marriage? He currently holds half of the management rights of the company. Customer resources in hand. Because we have different divisions of labor. I don't have a grasp of it either. After listening to Bella's complaints, the next day I started implementing my second step plan. That night, Liam happened to have a dinner party. It's time to get off work. She was wearing a neat black suit. I stopped him as he was about to go downstairs. Does he have a dinner appointment with a client tonight? I'll go with you. Liam was slightly stunned. Obviously, he didn't expect me to take the initiative to suggest going with him. I didn't give any explanation. Just closed the document in his hand and walked in front of him. Went straight to the garage. Liam has several clients to meet and deal with. For me, this kind of thing. Familiar with the road. After all, I am the actual founder of Jincheng. I gave a brief self-introduction. The word actual was specially emphasized. The customers were a little surprised. in their impression. Liam is the founder. Even Liam himself thought I was a little abnormal today. But I didn't explain much. A2 started chatting with the customer. As familiar as old friends. This is the second step of my plan. Before Liam was kicked out of the company, I need to build trust with his clients first. With this trust, no matter what order he gets, I can take over the company. It won't matter whether he's there or not by then. On the way home, Liam asked me tentatively, "Olivia, have I done something wrong recently?" "Ah," I replied calmly. "But Jincheng is also the result of my parents' hard work. I want to put more effort into it. Here I am concentrating on driving." Didn't even look at him. Liam didn't ask any more questions. I feel like I'm just meeting clients together. Maybe he thought too much in the month that followed. Every time he met clients, I would follow him, and slowly, those clients who originally belonged to him. Gradually, they became our common customers. The project he was responsible for alone became something we worked on together. Customers' remittances also began to be transferred into my account. My second step plan was successfully completed. What I didn't expect was that Liam's bank account. The monthly cash flow has been reduced so much. That's right. Bella is quite generous. When I get off work and prepare to go home, I received a WeChat message from him. Here are some photos of the fully decorated villa. From the decoration style, you can't buy this house without 7 or 8 million. Bella's tone was full of excitement. Across the screen, I could feel his excitement. "Olivia, I moved to a new house. This house is really big. I live with my baby and several other people. Check out our new villas. Beautiful, isn't it? The aesthetic I chose is okay. The house I just took over was already decorated. Just add some soft furnishings and you can move in. Although I have lived in the city for 9 years, I finally have a decent house." I looked at his WeChat. My fingers tightly grasped the phone. Spending other women's money. Buy a house. Is it really worth him being so proud? Soon after, Bella called me. Invite me out for drinks to celebrate. When I arrived, he had drunk a lot of wine. Lying drunkenly on the table in the box. His eyes were a little dazed. He started talking drunkenly. "Now I have everything. Unfortunately, there is still a lump in it. There has always been someone who is a thorn in my heart and makes me feel uncomfortable whenever I think of him." My heart skipped a beat. My intuition tells me the person he was talking about was me. Suddenly, Bella suddenly overturned the bottle of wine on the table. His eyes became ferocious. "Grab a piece of broken glass." His 5 fingers tightly grasped the glass and cut his hand, causing bright red blood flowing from his hands. He repeated it several times viciously. "If there is no him in this world, how happy Liam and I are. Why should he live? He shouldn't exist." Hearing these words, my head was buzzing. A chill ran up my spine. Li Yang wouldn't really want that person to disappear. Before, I thought he was just vain and material woman. I didn't expect that I was so naive. If he hadn't been drunk today, I can't imagine it. He could actually be so vicious to fight for a man. The other disappeared completely. Then Li Yang continued to talk a lot. All of them complained about him being with Liam. How wronged have you been over the years? I thought to myself. Since I feel so wronged, why not break up? There are so many men in this world. Why do you have to hang yourself on this tree? He replied to me drunkenly. Why should I separate him from other women? To give me a better life. Where can I find such a man? I don't feel ashamed at all. Even a bit of showing off? Liam's pride in how good he was to him. Once again, I was disgusted by him and Liam. It turns out that what kind of person deserves what kind of partner? I asked him coldly. Have you ever thought about him? Today, because of you treating another woman like this. One day, you may stare at me like this with drunken eyes for another woman. He looked at me in a daze. Good. After a while, he started laughing. Impossible. He loves me so much. How could you do this to me? I don't know if he's really stupid. Or are you deliberately deceiving yourself? A person who has no sense of family responsibility. Why did he think that the other party would be consistent with him and say one more word to such a person? I think it's a waste of time. I didn't pretend to be a saint and send a full head. Thinking of letting my disappeared woman go home. Instead, he turned and left the restaurant. Now I have one more thing to do besides kicking Liam out of the company. That is to protect yourself in this marriage war. When I got home, Liam is already home. He should have just finished a phone call with Li Ying. When I walked in, I only heard him say on the phone, I don't care. Whenever I think of him, I felt so miserable that I almost died. See me coming in. Liam's expression flashed a trace of panic. I quickly regained my composure. He hung up the phone immediately, smiled at me and said, You are back. He doesn't want a midnight snack. I'll do it for you. He was still extremely gentle and considerate as usual. If I didn't know Bella existed, I will probably indulge in his gentleness. Can never extricate myself. I am not hungry. I just ate outside. I answered him calmly. Then he turned and went to the study. He still insisted on persuading me to eat something. Said that there were wontons stuffed with beef at home. Although I have refused. But he went to the kitchen anyway. After cooking, I came to my desk. I stared blankly at the food on the table. Li Ying's words suddenly popped up in my mind. And what's wrong with his expression when he says those words? Liam asked doubtfully. I replied. Fine. Just wanted to say that I don't like eating wontons anymore. After that, I'll continue to sort out the documents. So, would you like some fruit tea? I'll do it for you. Liam was extra considerate to me tonight. Instead, it made me feel a little uneasy. I don't want to eat anything. This time he didn't even raise his head. He was stunned for a while and then quietly left the study. I bought a little hamster and took it home. When Liam came back, seeing me playing with the hamster, somewhat surprised. Do you like pets? How come it suddenly started growing? I was giving the hamster some greens and saying it was cute. Don't you think so? He smiled and said, If you like it, keep it. When I'm not here, he can accompany you, Liam. I don't care about these things. After taking off my coat, straight into the kitchen. Prepare dinner. He usually comes back very late. But recently he has been returning home on time more often. He started to care about what I like to eat. I cook a lot of dishes every day. But I always use the excuse that I have already eaten with clients. Rejected his advances. Liam was helpless. I can only throw away the food on the table. Then I went into the study to continue my work. I watched him disappear. After his door was closed, quietly went to the kitchen. Pick up a small piece from the trash can. He fed the discarded food to the hamster he had just brought home. There was nothing wrong with the hamster at first. But half a month later, It suddenly vomited blood. I stared at him, twitching a few times in front of me. Then he stopped moving. My whole body suddenly became cold and shivered. I trembled. Put away the hamster's cage. And packed his suitcase before Liam left the study. I can't stay in this house any longer. Living with Liam now. Putting yourself in danger. I dragged my suitcase. Prepare to move out. As soon as I opened the door, Liam's study door also opened. He took a look. My luggage froze for a moment. It's so late. Where are you going? I held the door tightly. Turn your hands behind him. Holding the pale horror. What's wrong? Liam came towards me. I opened the door and walked out before he got close. Calmed down a bit. I calmly said that I was a little tired recently. Driving home is too much trouble. I plan to stay with my parents these few days. He asked why. Is it because I haven't spent enough time with you lately? If you don't want to drive, you can wait for me to go home together. I drive. Liam still plays the role of the perfect husband. No. You are busy too. My parents' place is closer to the company, which is more convenient. I rejected his proposal. I was ready to leave with my suitcase. Just as I was about to go out, Liam suddenly grabbed my hand. Give me a reason. If you are really tired, we can take a vacation together. Go abroad to relax and then come back. Anyway, there is no end to the money. I really don't spend enough time with you. If he had said these words before, I will definitely be touched by his thoughtfulness. But now he is more considerate. The more alert I feel. Let's talk about it after I finish my busy schedule. I didn't refuse outright. But deal with him. My answer reassured Liam. He let go of my hand. He smiled and said, let's wait a few days. You should have a good rest for a few days at your parents' house. I didn't dare look back. He dragged his suitcase without looking back. Left the community and drove away. I still go to the company as usual after my parents' house. When we arrived at Liam's office, he was in the attached bathroom. I didn't bring my cell phone in. At this moment, the phone beeped. I don't like looking at his phone. But at this moment, I inadvertently glanced at the message on the screen. The sender's note is Bella. I don't have to guess. That's Bella. Liam's phone screen locked. I can't see the full chat history. You can only see the message on the screen to remind you whether you have lost your heart to him. You won't fall in love with him. As I read this message, sent it with a message. If you can't bear it, then let me do it. I looked at the screen in shock. My fingers clenched involuntarily until the knuckles turned white. I want to view the complete chat history between the two of us. But Liam's phone was password protected. I can't open it. I tried it. I found out that the birthday combination with his was wrong. I tried several more times with numbers related to his birthday, but they were still wrong. I held the phone stiffly. I looked in the direction of the bathroom. The door was closed and not taped. I heard the sound of flushing water. Liam hasn't come out yet. I calmed down. After thinking through all the possible password combinations, Li Yang's face suddenly appeared in my mind. I don't know his birthday. But suddenly I thought. He once shared a necklace Liam gave him on his moments. Numbers engraved on necklaces. I vaguely remember relying on my memory. I entered the number on the necklace and Liam's birthday combination. The screen slowly lit up. I guessed right. I trembled. Open WeChat with your finger. Before Liam came out, I opened the chat history between him and Bella. All previous chat messages have been deleted. Only today's conversation. The final time is left at 9:30. Liam only sent one sentence. Enough of the content. I think that's enough. My intuition tells me that the content before this sentence is very important to me. But he has deleted it. Bella's reply was the 2 messages she just sent. Now I don't want to explore Liam anymore. Did I ever love a man like him? It just makes me feel sick. My attention was focused on Bella saying, Liam said he couldn't bear to attack me, but the dead hamster showed that he had already attacked me. Unless the dose he gave was not lethal. But it brings other harm. But no matter what, Liam is unforgivable to me. I quickly took a screenshot of the conversation between the 2 of us and saved it before Liam came out. After putting the phone back to its original place as if nothing had happened. Left his office. Liam has already done this. My next plan can also begin. During the day, I informed all the staff of the company that a meeting would be held later. The content of the meeting was not disclosed. At 10:30, everyone received the notice and appeared in the conference room waiting. Including Liam. When I showed up at the scene, I didn't bring any documents. I only brought a cell phone. Everyone looked at him in surprise. I don't understand what I'm doing. I walked straight to the front of the crowd. I scanned the scene one by one. Everyone slowly spoke. Today's meeting is held. I want to tell you. After. I am now responsible for all matters in the company. Mr. Song is no longer a member of this company from today on. The whole audience was shocked. Pairs of eyes were stunned. Look at me, obviously. I didn't expect the content of this meeting to be so explosive. The most shocked person was of course Liam himself, Olivia. What are you doing? His face darkened noticeably. He seemed to be holding back his anger. I didn't answer him. Just open your phone and project the content on the large screen. First there were photos of Li Yang and Li Yang's children. It's Li Yang and my WeChat. Including how much Liam spent on him. What things have you bought? The last one is Bella, who was recorded by me. The child in the car said. The father is Liam's dialogue. Once the dialogue comes out. Once again, the whole audience was shocked and there were small discussions in the audience. Mr. Song actually turned his back to Mr. Su. Having a child with another woman. He also lived with other women. But Mr. Song usually shows that he loves Mr. Su very much. I can't see that kind of person at all. So don't judge a book by its cover. Liam stared at the screen intently. His face was terribly cold. I ignored his look and continued my announcement. As we all know, Jincheng is a company that my parents invested in and founded. It has nothing to do with Liam. If you want to lay off a member, my parents have the final say. Today I am here to tell my parents something. Tell everyone that Mr. Song will no longer be the company's manager in the future. As for all the money Mr. Song spent on Ms. Li, that all belongs to the company. I will sue to recover all of it. After I made the announcement, I walked out of the meeting room without looking back. Liam followed me and grabbed Olivia's hand. Why didn't you discuss the conflict with me in advance? Can't we solve it privately? He pulled my hand very hard. Didn't come out again. We were very angry. I just kept holding back my anger. Didn't happen in front of me. I pulled my hand away from him indifferently. I thought his words were a little ridiculous. This man who approached me with anger from the beginning. What's the room for negotiation? Let's solve it privately. How could he be defeated miserably? I have nothing to say to Mr. Song. I will prepare the divorce papers tomorrow. Hello. I'll have someone send it to you. Didn't look at him again. I strode away from the scene. Liam stood there stiffly, his hands still in the same position as before. In addition to anger, more of it is unwillingness. He probably didn't expect that. I reacted so decisively after I found out he was cheating on me. Even more unexpected. Under my seemingly calm appearance. Actually, I have prepared so much. He didn't have any chance to fight back. Not long after I returned to my office, Bella called. He obviously knew it. Just now. After I answered the phone, he starts scolding you. It's Sue Jean. You approached from the beginning. I'm lying to myself. Is that right? You deceived my feelings. It's all because of a woman today who was so scheming as you, and yet she still failed. Pine Eagle likes me. But he's not bad to you, so why would you put him in such a miserable situation? Do you know that you announced it in front of so many people in the company? He told me about it. It's not just that he will lose his image in front of so many people in Jincheng. It will also make it difficult for him to leave Jincheng and join other large companies. How can you be so vicious, woman? You're turning him into a useless person. What is the difference? She couldn't find a high-paying job. You let our family of 3 do this in the future. I listened to everything he said patiently and responded to him calmly bit by bit. I've said it from the beginning. My name is Olivia. My last name is indeed Sue. When I was a kid, everyone around me calls me that, so this is deceiving me. Every word projected on the screen in the company today. Not all of them came from your mouth. It was you who brought him to this state, not me. And when he did so many embarrassing things with you, don't you feel ashamed? How can you put the blame on me? The person who did this. Finally, what will you 3 do in the future? Why are you asking me this kind of question? These days, a divorced ex-wife has to take responsibility for the ex-husband and the third party for the rest of their lives. My tone remained unchanged. Bella was going crazy after hearing this. I cursed on the phone for most of the day. I'm too lazy to waste my time on meaningless things. I just pressed the call button. The plan to kick Liam out of the company. After Li Yang got drunk. The words I recorded. And the following chat records. And the hamster thing. None of this has come in handy yet. But I'm not in a hurry. I know that with Li Yang's hatred towards me today, he will have further action. A month later, I sued to recover everything Liam gave to Bella. She and Liam are also entering the divorce stage. Liam asked for a 50-50 split of the property. But I rejected his proposal on the grounds that the company belonged to my parents. He wants to divide the property. We can only get married this year. I didn't have any money left from my wedding. Besides, he was at fault in the divorce. I have all the evidence and Song will get even less. In the end, the court ruled that he should be given a few $100,000 or $500,000. For Bella, who has developed a habit of spending money lavishly, how can it be enough to spend? Song Yinghe. After I liquidated my property, in a few days, Bella spent half of the money on luxury goods. 1 month later, I was left with nothing. Half an hour. No savings left. Liam himself has experienced hardships. Earlier, Bella had just started to fall in love with luxury goods. At that time, she was a little overwhelmed. The situation is different now than before. How can you still spend like this? Their marriage lasted less than a few months. Bella hasn't made a move on me yet. I waited for unexpected news. Liam and Bella broke up. Because of lack of money, we quarrel every day. Because the other party spends money like water and they quarrel too much. Liam proposed that Bella firmly believed in the beautiful love between him and Liam. In the end, it didn't reach the end. After the breakup, Liam and Bella disappeared for a while. I never met these two again. Until one night. I got home a little late from get-off work. When Li Guang drove to a remote road. And Bella happened to bump into Bella. He passed me by in a taxi. When Li Guang sat facing me in the car window. There was a flash of malice in his eyes. I ignored him and continued driving my car. The car Li Yang was in had already slowed down. Walked away from me. But somehow, when I reached the corner, I suddenly turned another corner. He rushed towards my car from behind. The car he was in was driving very fast. The streetlights illuminated an approaching car. I found that Bella in the passenger seat had grabbed the steering wheel without knowing when. "It's you who made me like this, Olivia. Why don't you go and die in the whistling wind?" I heard his faint voice. Li Yang's car speed was getting faster and faster. It seemed as if he was determined to die with me. From the moment I met him. Be wary of him. Before his car hit me. I made a sharp turn. Let the car change lanes. Li Yang wanted to catch up and continue to hit. However, the taxi driver in the car fought with him for the steering wheel. The car is going too fast. The two people were struggling and the car didn't hit them. I blasted it instead. The scene was chaotic as it crashed into a thick tree nearby. After that, it was completely quiet. Both people in the car were silent. Someone on the street witnessed this scene. Called the police. Bella and the taxi driver were both taken to hospital. I went to the police station to make a statement. After truthfully describing what happened tonight. The recordings stored in the phone and Bella's chat records were also provided to the police. It took a week for Yang to wake up after the car accident. After waking up, the brain is stupid. Silly's reaction also became much slower. I laid the case against him for premeditated murder. I've had car accidents. There were also people convicted of surveillance at the meeting and sentenced to life imprisonment. Liam. I only provided part of the evidence to the police. I learned about the hamster incident from the results of the police investigation. It is said that after the police found Liam. The hamster incident, which Liam himself admitted. During that time, Bella kept forcing Liam to find a solution. I have proposed that. Let him take me on a trip to a remote country. Before causing an accident to kill me, I also proposed causing a car accident. Or if your house catches fire accidentally. But Liam refused. Liam only accepted the offer of medication. But the amount he used could kill the hamster. But it won't kill people. The effect he wanted was to make people feel dazed. My brain isn't that good. The prosecution charged him with intentional injury to others. He was eventually sentenced to 7 years in prison. On Liam's first day in prison, I went to see it at his request. Does he know why I rejected Bella's proposal? He raised his mathematical face. Ask me. I didn't say anything. He looked at me with a little more clarity in his eyes. He held a little bit of it in his mouth. Expect. Sister. If I say I like you, would you believe it? Regarding this issue. In fact, I already had the answer in my heart a long time ago. He never bothered. Did he ever love or not? Ever since I saw what kind of person he was? This question becomes unimportant to me. From beginning to end, I am using. This kind of love is too cheap. Mr. Song. After I can't sell your love. I won't be coming here again. After coming out. There's no need for us to see each other again. I was turned around and disappeared from her sight without looking back. After returning, I put all my energy into my work. The cinema is gone. Liam is no different than before. Even getting better. A few years later, I became the youngest entrepreneur on the local wealth list. My parents suggested, "Please introduce me to another blind date." But I rejected it. Marriage is not a necessity for me. Just let it be. Career is a woman's confidence. And now everything is just fine. Now let's listen to the next story. Last week I found out I was pregnant and I coordinated with my boss. Transferred from the workshop to the office. He just happened to need an assistant who was familiar with computers. Just agreed. The small factories in the town don't have so many rules. It's an office. In fact, there is only one room between them. There is a computer desk inside. On the first day, I brought a pot of succulent plants. Bring a vase. Decorate the table. I played the video to my husband and showed it to him. Does the rose I am trimming in my hand look good? This will be my desk from now on. My husband hasn't spoken yet. The door was suddenly kicked open. The lady boss came in. I haven't been working here long. I could recognize him from a distance in the workshop because he also had a big belly. But he probably hasn't seen me. His boss's wife came up and slapped me in the face. Who are you trying to seduce by giving roses to people you meet? This slap was very hard. My face was burning and painful, and it shook for a moment. The phone flew out. It hit the wall and cracked. I covered my face. Just wanted to ask what happened. Following him into the workshop, Director Ethan quickly closed the door and pointed at my sister. It was Ethan who rushed over directly. Push me to the ground. She covered my mouth and said, "The child in his belly is Brother Chen's sister. In half an hour. Brother Chen is here. This bastard can't let me fall headfirst to the ground." I felt dizzy all over. But I understand. They thought my child was Frank's. To abort my child. I struggled hard and shook my head left and right to get rid of Ethan's hand. I want to tell them. The child is not Frank's. But the power difference between men and women is too great. Ethan sat on me. Cover my mouth tightly. I can hardly breathe. Rachel took the opportunity to face me. Kicked several times in the stomach and waist. I was shaking with pain. But Ethan pressed me down. I can't curl up to protect my belly. I can only kick around with my legs. Rachel took a step back. Protecting his belly. Damn, he wanted to kick me a few times when he saw the hoof. Rachel picked up the roses I had just trimmed and hit me with them. Once or twice the thorns pierced the flesh. The more I twist, the deeper you pierce. But I'm still struggling. Trying not to let him hit me in the stomach. At this time, the door handle suddenly turned with a slight sound. But they all heard it. Ethan was so scared that he let go of his hand. There was a glimmer of hope in my eyes. The door was wide open. Xiao Linhong quickly rushed in to save her. I only had time to shout out. Ethan covered it again. Mouth. The lady boss, Lin Hong, greeted us with a smile. I looked at Lin Hong with tears streaming down my face and begged her to do something while making unclear sounds with her mouth. Not a child. No, you were on a business trip with Mr. Chen last month. This child is not Mr. Chen's. Can Mr. Chen give you an office? Lin Hong shouted at him sharply that he was lying. He just felt that the office was more comfortable than the workshop. He spread rumors about Ethan, but he didn't care about pulling my head. He took the big tape from the table and sealed my mouth. And wrapped it around the head 4 or 5 times. Then he tied my hands and legs tightly. I'm getting more and more desperate. A wall separates us. The difference between life and death. I couldn't call for help. We can only hope that Jason will find the phone before it breaks. He can see and hear abnormalities. He can come and save our baby tape. Tearing out a lot of my hair and cutting it. Pulling at my skin. He seemed to feel no pain. I crawled and twisted my whole body to finally get close to Ethan. Seeing this, Ethan kicked me in the stomach. Damn, I still don't give up. He also wants to touch my sister's child. Yes. I don't want to explain anymore. Rumors are hard to explain. People only choose what they want to hear. I come closer. He just wanted to trip him up. If I can't keep my baby, I want his children to accompany me. I just failed. He is the butcher. I am fish. They beat and kicked me. My body has started to go numb. My consciousness gradually became blurred. The boss lady seduced Mr. Chen. But this face. Lin Hong's voice rang out. My eyes were so swollen that I could only open them a crack. A huge hatred burst out from this crack. Lin Hong took a step back in fear. Don't dare to look at me anymore. I cut your face. From how you seduce people, pick up a rusty blade as usual. Slowly sliding from my forehead to the tip of my nose, the knife cuts the flesh. I felt my face being torn open with warm blood. Blow my eyes. In blood red. I saw the office door open and a pair of white sneakers came in. And I also felt a warm current flowing out from between the legs. Completely fainted. Jason finally arrived. From the video, I was hit with a crack. He came as fast as he could. But it was too late. Wake up again. I was lying in a hospital bed. Not wrapped in anything. Only the eyes shed a slit. I slowly touched my lower abdomen. Jason gently stroked my hand. He didn't dare to use force. He was afraid of hurting me. I looked at him with his mouth slightly open. Hubby, baby. My throat feels like a knife cutting through it. I usually can't speak. Sound. The eyes were bloodshot due to external force. Through the faint red light, I looked at Jason pleadingly. However, Jason, who was nearly 1.9 meters tall, lowered his head beside my bed. I cried silently, and the tears in the corners of my eyes instantly soaked the gauze. Holding tightly, the gauze wrapped around the abdomen. They're just lost. My most precious baby. Don't cry, Olivia. You can't cry. It's not good for your health. Chen Lin choked up and Jason called the police. Frank had already come to the hospital. He wanted to help Rachel solve this problem. Olivia. You woke up. They were wrong about this. I asked them to apologize to you. Will my child come back? The heart-wrenching pain swallowed me up and I shouted. I felt a surge of heart in my throat. These people just want to use an apology to save a life. Olivia. The child is gone. I'm sorry. How about this? Except for medical expenses, I'll give you another 80,000 to nourish your body as compensation to you. Do you think it's okay? Frank looked uncomfortable. It's like bargaining for 80,000 yuan in the vegetable market is not enough. Zhao Li's voice was sharp, just like a piece of meat. Why should I shut up for 80,000? Frank yelled at Zhao Li, who immediately shrank his head. Jason stood up suddenly. He is tall. At this moment, he was as angry as a wolf that wanted to eat people. He stared at Zhao Li fiercely. The Zhao official dared not say anything. hiding behind the old wall. Isn't it his fault that he didn't explain it clearly? I thought it was Mr. Chen's child. Lin Hong followed behind. Maybe he felt that the 80,000 yuan was enough. Things curled their lips and said disdainfully. It's his fault for causing misunderstandings all the time. He deserves it. Jason. He rushed over with one step, holding Lin Hong's collar. He was lifted up by force. You're such a mean person. Then don't you deserve to be beaten to death? Jason attacked from both sides. He slapped Lin Hong a dozen times, until Lin Hong's mouth. Blood spurted out of the nose. The policeman at the door splashed all over the floor. Then he went forward and pulled it. Jason. Let him stop. Jason's eyes turned red. He ignored the police's words. Jason. My voice is weak. But he heard it. I was afraid Jason would sit too long. After all, the police are right next to us. Jason let go of Lin Hong, picked up the 2 teeth that Lin Hong had dropped from the ground, stuffed them into his mouth, and then covered his mouth. Swallow it for me. Next time it won't be so easy to be mean. The blood in the living mouth. Lin Hong swallowed the needle. Where does it hurt? Jason came back to me. Ask me softly. The police saw that I was awake. There are things to ask. I also want to ask something. So Chin Chang and Rachel were asked to leave. Dear police comrade. Could you please help me negotiate the price? We can all go out. Before Frank went out, pat the police's hands gently. Specifically told Lin Hong, who was still picking her throat, to have a pig's head. He immediately crawled and rolled out. The ward door is closed. The policeman rubbed the back of his hand on the bed in the next ward and began routine questioning. What would happen if I sue them? Result? After answering a few questions from the police, I asked directly. Our country's laws prohibit intentionally beating a pregnant woman. Cause miscarriage. It constitutes the crime of intentional injury. Sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of not more than 3 years. You should consult a lawyer for 3 years. Jason punched the wall. My wife goes to work in the morning. A good person. Now like a rag doll. Lying here, the child is gone. I was waiting outside the ward for something other than surgery. The bloodletting knife is huge. He dug me a bowl and a knife in his heart. Jason raised his hand and wiped away his tears. We looked at the wound on his face that had more than 30 stitches. Look at the soft tissue bruises and thigh fractures all over the body. Tell me. For 3 years they vented their anger passionately. But the police's next words were. It made him completely collapse. Now, there's some bad news. There is no surveillance in their factory office. Jason sneered angrily. So they don't even have to go to jail. Jason's compensation can also be regarded as employee care. The police said. Jason was stunned all of a sudden. Jason was distracted. Suddenly walked out. I'm going to kill them. Jason Olivia Lin. I hurriedly called him. The police also held him tightly. My scream of pain finally brought Jason back. I said I would discuss it with Jason. Everyone left the ward temporarily. How did Olivia negotiate 80,000 yuan? You are so wounded. And our Jason was angry and aggrieved. The end of the eye is moist. You lower your head. I'm talking to you. I lowered my voice very low. Jason. I saw Lin Hong recorded a video. Jason's father listened. Don't tell the police yet. Besides, Rachel is not the boss lady. I heard them talk about Frank being out of town before in the workshop. There is another big production. This Rachel is just Samlinhong who is kept here. They said. Frank seems to be henpecked. What would Frank's wife do if she knew about the child? He asked Nong to beat the mistress. Beating someone else's child. But he thinks he is the mistress. Should his child also be aborted? Jason held Jijia tightly in his hands. I know Jason and I are on the same page at this point. In fact, Jason has always had a mild temper. As long as it doesn't hurt his family. I am introverted, quiet and easy to get along with. But I will take revenge. I negotiated with the police on the grounds of my health. Frank and Rachel seemed to have forgotten me. Rachel said she was frightened. Frank comes here more often. He seldom came here in the past, which was convenient for Jason. Jason follows Frank every night. A week later, he finally figured out the location of Frank's home and the factory. I also got some private information. Frank. He married into the Jean family. His wife's name is Grace. Can't get pregnant. Frank was Grace's bodyguard at first. I guess there's some emotion involved. Grace said. She can accept it. Don't have children. The two got married. Wait for her to do business. But after years of strict supervision by Grace, she gradually felt that Chin Chien had become more honest. Just look at it relaxed. Frank hasn't been fooling around outside in the past 2 years. So Rachel became pregnant. So Jason found a chance to meet Grace. And told her about Frank and Rachel. Jason didn't say what he and Grace talked about. Anyway, Grace left Jason's phone number. Said he would check. If true, Grace will treat us to a good show. During this period, Jason also went to find Lin Hong. After the last incident, knowing that Frank and Rachel can't tolerate each other, she ran away without calling to resign. But he probably lacks money. He secretly ran back to the factory to ask the finance department for his salary. Jason happened to be on duty for those 2 days. After getting the video from him, deleted the video from his phone. Jason and I did not give the video to the police. Damn, the 3-year term is required. Will I, Yu Lin Hong, restore the video? We think he would not dare to let others know. Half a month later, I have bruises all over my body. Slowly disappearing. The broken leg hasn't healed yet. Jason was rubbing me gently. The other leg phone rang. Good. He received a call from Grace. I'm going to. I held Jason's wrist, watching his play firmly. I have to be there. Jason didn't stop him. Found a wheelchair. He wrapped me up tightly and took me with him. After half a month, I returned to the factory. There is no night shift today. The moon is dim. Only the office lights were on. Through the crack in the door, let some light show. This separated room is like a sea with dark waves. A lonely boat swaying in the wind. When Jason pushed me in, the woman sitting in the boss chair was stunned for a moment. Then he exhaled a puff of light smoke. Interesting. Your husband is very courageous. I didn't expect you to be so courageous. In contrast, Frank, you are such a jerk. Grace suddenly turned around and threw the cigarette she had just smoked into Frank's face. Frank should have been beaten. The face was bruised and blue. Kneeling on the ground together. When the smoke flew over, he howled again. Qian Qian. They slandered me. I didn't do it. I'm sorry about that. Qian Qian. We have been married for so many years and the people brought by Grace are very quick. Just stuff a large piece of cloth into Frank's mouth. There was sandpaper sandwiched between these cloths. The corners of Chin Chang's mouth were rotten from all the grinding. The door opened again with a thud. Why did my husband send me a message so late at night to ask me to come? You can go find me. Rachel's voice and belly came in first. Then he ran towards the city wall in panic. My husband Rachel touched the face of the city wall. I want to pull it open. The cloth in his mouth. But he was suddenly picked up and released by the people brought by Grace. I let go of me. Do you guys know who I am? Do you know who my husband is? Rachel struggled desperately and finally turned his head. You are the one who called me smelly. I should have killed you that day. Let you die with the bastard in your belly. My hand on the wheelchair. Holding tightly to the despair and pain of that day. It was as if I had returned to my body again. I was trembling slightly. Jason gently stroked my back. Help me relieve. I calmed down. Looking at him calmly. It's like looking at garbage. Rachel couldn't stand it anymore. Before that, he trampled on it with the superiority of the rich. How can I bear it now? I am such a mockery. Even when being carried by others, Zhao Li still acted arrogantly. She pointed at the bodyguards in suits around her. This shit is only 80,000 bucks. Kill these two bitches. I will give you 100,000 right now. Don't kill them. I'll give you 150,000. Are you all fucking idiots? Put me down. I have plenty of money. I looked at Rachel coldly. At this moment, he was like a fish caught by a fisherman, flapping his body to survive. But the fisherman will only wait to be disemboweled. Shut up, it's so noisy. Grace finally couldn't bear it anymore. In this town, Zhao Li is rich. But there are many people who are richer than him. If you go to Grace, you will be much richer than him. He waved his hand and the bodyguard slapped Rachel hard. Rachel was knocked unconscious. But he quieted down. The corners of his mouth moved twice. Spit out a few bloody teeth. I was so scared that I fainted. Passed. A bodyguard went to the bathroom and fetched a basin of water. Crouching on Rachel's face. She woke up and was about to call Grace. She glanced. Noise my ears again. They will beat you to death. After all, I am richer than you. Next, I will ask you a question. Do you understand? Grace is calm and peaceful. But Rachel looked at her husband Chin Chang with great fear. Who is he? Frank ignored it. Zhao Li. He bent over and shook his head desperately at Grace. Like a dog, Grace. Ignore and light a cigarette. Frank is your husband. Of course. My husband is awesome. You'd better let him go. Wait till we get out. Grace exhaled a puff of smoke. I gave the bodyguard a look. He slapped Rachel again. Her face was covered with tears and snot, and she was sobbing suppressedly. The baby in your belly is hers. Rachel nodded fiercely and was slapped again. She immediately yelled, "Take it down." Grace still spoke in a calm tone. The bodyguard took Frank down. The cloth in his mouth was untied. But Frank still knelt obediently. Frank. The woman said. Her child is yours. Not Qianqian. It really wasn't. Frank immediately denied it. Frank. You, Rachel, are very flustered. Shut up and meet people. Frank slapped him several times. Let you slander me for not being your child. How are you going to prove it? Grace blew out a cloud of thick smoke that floated in front of the city wall. I couldn't see Frank's face. But he suddenly stood up in the smoke. Kicked Rachel hard in the stomach. I was inexplicably excited outside the door. There was another knock on the door. interrupting Frank's actions. Brother-in-law. What are you doing? Why is there such a loud noise? It's Ethan. Ethan, help me, help me. Rachel was like a drowning person grabbing the last piece of driftwood to illuminate Pan Yu and kick open the door. This Jiao Fu. My sister is still pregnant with your child. How could you leave him lying on the ground? Ethan ran over and tried to help Rachel up. Who are these people? Oh shit. It's you two bitches again. He looked around. Another person who was not very good at seeing came in, Frank, and after taking a look at Grace, kicked Ethan, who fell down along with Rachel. It's your brother-in-law who is talking nonsense. I'll tear your mouth off. Ethan's mind works very quickly. Seems to have seen the situation clearly. Did Ethan slap himself? I mean, it's not that we don't know you. Please. Let's go. My sister is still pregnant. The baby is due in 2 months. Ethan put on a great show with tears in his eyes. However, Ethan disagreed. He insisted that the baby in his belly was Frank's. It seems that if you don't say it, it won't be the same. The baby in my belly is Frank's. What can you do? Is there any law left? It seems that Ethan's arrival gave him a lot of confidence. Frank still seemed to be struggling. He felt sorry for his only child. Jason was getting impatient. He and I came here specifically to see the show. Jiao Lin took a big step forward and grabbed Ethan's neck, pinning Ethan to the ground. Jason bent his knees and pinned Ethan to the ground. Jason picked up the wrench next to the leg of the desk. I ask you, is the child Frank's? It's not. Jason, who picked up the wrench, hit Ethan directly on the mouth. Is it grass or not? Ethan held up his hands, struggling desperately. But Jason pressed her tightly. Jason smashed down with a wrench again, to see who had more power. I am stronger than you. Now I am the one who is suppressing you. Jason stepped on Ethan's head, crushing hard. Eyes are red. Jason got the video from Lin Hong. When I was beaten by Ethan, there's madness in his eyes. Jason is ready. I whispered to him. He released Ethan. Today's protagonist is Ethan. Ethan was lying on the ground, still recovering. Jason finally made his move. Rachel has been pregnant for 7 or 8 months. Rachel was crying and beating Frank. I think your mother is not a human being, even if she is a tiger that would not eat her own cubs. There was a lot of blood gushing out from between his legs. Chin Cheng is still kicking my spine. I feel cold all over. The scene before my eyes makes me feel horrible. But slowly a sense of pleasure overflowed. Then more and more pleasures slowly entangled in my heart, repairing the void in my heart. I gently rubbed my belly with my fingertips and laughed. Please save me. Save my child. Call the police for me. Someone is going to be beaten to death. Jiao Li endured the pain and crawled towards me with a twisted body. A trail of blood was left on the ground. He reached out his hand to me for help. Behind. Chin Cheng is still kicking. I helped Jason stand up and felt the sharp pain in my legs. But I am very happy. I am awake. I'm on crutches. Step by step, he moved in front of Rachel. Lift up. Slap him hard on the face. It's just a piece of meat. It's over. Ethan lay on the ground, heartbroken. I held my stomach and laughed until I doubled over. Laughed till tears came. Suddenly I was shaken violently. Jason caught me. Help me sit down carefully. Then you are not afraid of Grace looking at me playfully. You can handle it, can't you? You smiled too. There are so many things that rich people can handle. In front of Grace, Rachel is nothing. Jason and I walked out. This is a rich man's game. I have finished watching. You and your husband are both very affectionate. He told me this. I asked him. I don't care what he will do. He said he would sort it out himself. When I become a widower, I owe him a favor. Let me return this favor to you. I won't owe anyone a favor. Thanks. Jason and I walked out the door and headed toward the hospital. There were still sounds of howling and crying coming from that office. Jason and I didn't talk during the whole journey. Arrived at the hospital entrance. I felt a drop of water on my face. But the silence tonight certainly doesn't end here. After we left that night, Grace also left. With Grace's intervention, Frank had no choice but to send Rachel to the hospital where I was. Jason and I walked in and heard Frank roaring about having a cesarean section to save the baby. But the doctor told her the child had died in the womb. Frank actually left without caring about Rachel. In the end, Ethan went to the hospital with blood all over his face. Rachel was eventually rescued. I don't understand Grace. Is this a fun thing for me? Rachel became my new neighbor. He is recuperating from a cesarean section in the next ward. In the hospital, Nelly and his sister thought about looking for me. Could you please ask them for the evidence? I asked them if they wanted to be beaten. Everybody is out of money. It depends on who has the harder fist. Really healthy. I asked Jason to follow Lin Hong's life again. It's not something that can be repaid with a few slaps. All enemies must not be let go. Listening to the news Jason brought back. I can't hold it back. But Jason wouldn't let me walk. After about a month, Jason took me out again. One side is still sitting in a wheelchair. After Jason came out of the factory, working in a footbath city. Sue's footbath shop is not a very formal one. Jason has been observing here for a long time. There is always a homeless man in the footbath city at night, crouching by the roadside, while waiting for others to give some pocket money, while watching Lin Hong coming in and out, drooling at his thighs. That night Jason pushed me through this homeless city. This homeless man is not very old. Looks a bit silly. The clothes are thin. But it's not so dirty that it's disgusting. I saw several rashes on his exposed arm. He frowned and frowned. Another customer came to the bathhouse. Jason pushed me into the alley around the corner. I'm not sure if he is sick. Jason. You can see that I am a little reluctant. Jason. This is a lifelong thing. Will you sigh that I haven't said the word ruthless yet? Then I heard Lin Hong's familiar voice. Brother Wang. You must come to see me next time. The old ladies in that shop were all fucked up. Who knows what kind of serious disease it is? I am not like you, Brother Wang, who is waiting for you every day. He took Wang Ji's arm and walked him to the intersection, whispering. But at night I heard it clearly. He suddenly remembered what he said. I was on a business trip with Frank. That is totally untrue. But he spread rumors whenever he had nothing to do. Just like now when Lin Hong returns to the store. Jason and I hid in the dark. He did not see. But after the door of his shop closed, I pulled Jason. Jason walked up to the homeless man. I want a homeless person. Wiped his saliva. He withdrew his gaze from Lin Hong's thighs. Jason took out 1,000 and put it on the ground. You just happened to catch it. Jason and I continued to hide in the dark and watch the homeless man. I entered the store 1,000 times. The number of customers who come to this store is only 4 or 500 yuan each time. Lin Hong looked at him in a daze. Lots of cash in hand. Still staring at him. Just twist your butt. He took the person away directly. Why don't you schedule shifts? What a shitty class. They just want some of my old stuff. You sold out. You want to snatch me away? He should have kept his mouth shut. Life and death are determined by fate. As usual, he was recuperating in the hospital. At the beginning, I always hear him calling Frank to ask for money. What followed was his one-sided insults. I guess Frank didn't answer the phone. But who is Rachel? He has plenty of ways to find Frank. This day, Jason and I were resting in the ward. I heard Rachel's loud voice next door. So Jason took me to listen to the fun. Rachel actually found people from several live streaming platforms. He started a live broadcast in the ward. He had a runny nose. Crying and crying. He said, Frank is a heartless man. His 8-month-old baby is gone. Frank was going to abandon him. Zhao Lin is not a good person. The baby died at 8 months old. How helpless a mother must be. Scumbag man meat. He looked at the comments as usual. Keep crying to him. How pitiful the self in my mouth is. How pitiful. We media is very smart. For this reason, everyone deliberately ignored the 3 flavors of Rachel. Rachel acted very hard. The live broadcast room was very lively. Although I shouldn't ask. It breaks a mother's heart. But I still want to ask, how could an 8-month-old baby die? Why do you care what others do? Aren't you poking his heart? You are so cold-blooded. There was a lot of noise in the live broadcast room and Rachel ended the broadcast with satisfaction. I saw relevant information on my phone this afternoon. The popularity continues to rise. Frank finally showed up. Since that night, Frank was always trembling with fear. But Grace didn't look for him. He thought it was Grace. Forgive him for the sake of our past friendship. So he is very low-key. He wanted to wait for some time. Grace forgot about it. He went to coax Grace again. But Rachel, this fool. Now everyone knows about it. He was afraid that Grace would divorce him for the sake of face. So he came to Rachel. Whether it is coercion or inducement. Or give money and wealth. He had to solve it quickly. This matter. How much money did you say you want? Zhao Li gestured with 10 million, he must be crazy. I'll give you 10 million now. Frank. Now it is not as good as before. His small estates. Grace knew everything. If you want to move 10 million in cash, Grace will definitely find out. I am crazy. My son is gone. How can I not be crazy? You fucking bastard. Are you so afraid of that woman? That's your own son Zhao Li yelling like a madman. Finally Frank accepted. Maybe it's because Rachel has been with him for many years. Maybe it was because of the child he kicked to death. In conclusion, he asked Rachel to be quiet. Waiting for him to transfer the money through a wall. I vaguely understood. I was lying on the hospital bed. They wanted to give 80,000 yuan to buy my baby's life. This. Frank wants to use 10 million to buy out his relationship with Rachel. How can human life be so crazy? Frank turned it off. Zhao Li's door turned around. Jason and I came to greet him. You and the others don't want the 80,000 yuan anymore. How would Grace know this if it weren't for you? Frank is angry. But looking at Jason's tall and strong figure. You can only show off your strength with words. In fact, if this hadn't happened, Mr. Chen is still the cool and handsome Mr. Chen. I took out the video I got from Lin Hong. But Mr. Chen, you are one step away from the truth. This step. As your assistant, I'm going for you. I clicked the play button. The video clearly showed Rachel and Ethan punching and kicking me. This video was shot by Lin Hong. It is human nature to eat melons. What's more, he is still filming a video at this time. But Rachel and her brother fought fiercely. I didn't see it. This bastard sister is so hard to kill. Kick her in the stomach. Never mind her face. Frank's tumor can't be reduced. Fake is better than real waiting for you. Your children have grown up. All the money for the city wall will be ours. The video screen shook here. Come to an abrupt stop. Frank watched the video. The man also shook. Slamming on my ward door. The next ward. Rachel was lying on the bed happily fantasizing about her life as a rich woman. Frank came back angrily. Whose bastard is that? Frank grabbed Rachel's eyes. He dragged himself down to the ground. I asked you whose bastard is in your belly? Frank was extremely angry at this time. His eyes were red. Your Zhao Li is panicked. Eyes evasive. Ha ha. Frank dragged Zhao Li to the window. He was pushed so hard that half of his body fell out. He is still deceiving me. He put one hand on Zhao Li's neck. With his other hand, he slapped Zhao Li several times. I have nothing left. It's all your fault. And the wild one. Zhao Li was extremely frightened at this time. But what does it have to do with me if you still keep your mouth shut? You TMV yourself are also a gigolo. Blame it on yourself for being useless. I want you to die. Frank was completely mad because of what he said. The other hand also pinched Zhao Li's neck. Zhao Li's upper body was hanging outside the window. A fishy smell. It spread out from Zhao Li's trouser legs. She was so scared that she peed herself. I was wrong. I don't want money anymore. I don't want it anymore. Please let me down. Frank is crazy. He didn't know how much Grace knew. But he knew that he was the one being fooled. Everything he had was destroyed by what he saw. So he pushed Rachel out of the window. Call me outside Rachel's ward. Take a breath. The police stepped past me. Didn't keep it. Rachel, the police came quickly. Almost like catching the criminal at the crime scene. Jason and I called the police. When Frank first came into Rachel's ward, I said I have the video of the office. It only took half an hour for the ward next door to be vacated. The police didn't seem to arrive very quickly. Before Rachel fell to her death, the wound sutured after the cesarean section broke directly. I ignored Jason and went to take a look at the body. Baby. Did you see it? I stroked my belly and talked to myself. After Jason submitted the video to the police handled it quickly. Ethan and Lin Hong were arrested. Of course there is still 1973. But in these 3 years, Jason and I can accept that Frank's death penalty for intentional homicide should be carried out quickly. Some time ago, Jason and I both had trouble sleeping. Those wounds that have healed always hurt. It is only now melting. That night I was scrolling through my phone with Jason's hand resting behind my head. Suddenly someone added me on WeChat. It's Grace. I immediately clicked agree. It's over. We probably won't have any more contact with Grace. Grace sent 5 words to the company tomorrow. I mechanically replied and only realized it after I finished replying the message. Should we withdraw the migrant workers? This is really engraved in their bones. There was no alarm the next day. Jason and I woke up at 7 o'clock. We all went to the factory. We all carry a box cutter in our pockets. We have a pleasant cooperation. Grace left after saying this. Jason and I were still stunned. It's useless to pretend in the office. Grace asked Jason and I to take over the management of this small factory and supply the large factory as before. If you have the ability to attract other businesses. After I was arrested, I was given an extra commission. Grace quickly recovered the assets she had worked so hard to accumulate. Then Jason and I looked at each other. She turned her head and looked at the car keys on the table. When Grace dumped me, I felt a little disgusted that you took a taxi to see me. Now it is the face of the company after all. Jason and I walked around the factory and met the manager who was handing over the work. He gave us a detailed introduction. Jason and I finally signed the labor contract. It's just a job. The manager also said. What a long breath. I guess he was exiled to us. That's enough for him. In fact, when Grace left the office, I thought about asking her. How much does she know? But I didn't ask, it was just a job. That's it. Life is busy. Half a year has passed before I knew it. General Jean came to our small place for inspection and brought you a message. An extra desk was added to the office. He sat sideways in the boss chair. You know how to enjoy yourself. Mr. Jean. I have some back pain recently. I smiled. He waved his hand nonchalantly. The assistant behind Grace came forward and started talking. It turned out that Ethan and Lin Hong were diagnosed with AIDS while serving their sentences. When Ethan was taking care of Rachel in the hospital, I was very impatient. Even with a big bloody mouth, he can still go out and have fun. He happened to go to the foot bath where Lin Hong was. Lin Hong is also very powerful. Ethan's dissatisfaction and atmosphere melted away. Gave Ethan great happiness. He's in prison. They have been having fever recently. Diarrhea. Many small rashes appeared on my body. Eventually, AIDS was diagnosed. Lin Hong regretted robbing the young homeless man that night. He regretted even more when he saw the rash on the man's body. The only thing I have in my eyes is the $1,000. He actually overlooked this aspect. When Ethan found out that Lin Hong had AIDS, his suppressed emotions completely collapsed. He was in a heavily guarded prison. I found an opportunity. He was strangled to death. Lin Hong, but Lin Hong is also very good. When he fell under Ethan, she bit off Ethan's manhood in one bite. Now Lin Hong was biting on such a disgusting and dirty object. Completely shut up his gossipy mouth. Originally, I was supposed to come out and get treatment after 3 years. These two may still have some time left. But now Lin Hong is gone. Because the situation was extremely bad, Ethan was also dealt with quickly. I listened to the news. Suddenly I felt some physical discomfort. And some nausea. Jason held me up and leaned forward. Sit on the chair and help me smooth it out. I looked at Grace and opened my mouth. In the end, I didn't ask. But Grace spoke up. I'm just an entrepreneur. Just give people a job. My name is Grace. Frank is my husband. At first he was just my bodyguard, doing his job conscientiously. I was a rebellious teenager. My family urged me to get married. I said I was infertile. Ripples of new roads are a matter of chance. Frank protected me several times. I got some ideas. Ask him if he can accept it? No children. He said he could accept it. So we got married. We have been married for 10 years and still have no children. I checked secretly. I have a problem with my knot. The problem is Frank. He could accept it at first. I don't like kids either. Later, a young man squatted near a factory I owned for a few days. Listen to the bodyguard's description. I'm sure it's coming for me. I met him. He told me a great joke. To be honest, I don't mind if there are walls everywhere. Those small factories he opened for a small business. I don't care about that little money. We have to find someone to guard it after we get it back. After all, a conscientious entrepreneur. Always thinking about solving people's livelihood and employment issues. But young men are interesting. He said I didn't solve it. He can help me solve it. Just entrust your wife to me. I can't accept this. So I took care of this matter. I was surprised that this wife is as interesting as he is. This couple cooperated well with me. Does this thing make me feel comfortable taking revenge? No pain or itching. What's the point? At last. As an entrepreneur, I also solved the employment problem for the couple. The road is paved. The wise ones will do well.